Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, everyone. We've made it to the end of the week. Congratulations. Hope you guys are starting off the weekend on a good note. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you definitely are. Today, we have a little bit of a release that was announced. Lange Söhne decided to release one of their 25th anniversary pieces. This one is called the Grand Lange 1. So today, we're going to kind of tell you a little bit about it, maybe just give you a little bit of history on Lange Söhne in case you don't really know who they are, and then give you my thoughts on the actual piece. So if you don't know, Lange Söhne is a watch manufacturer and they are based in Glashütte, Germany. They're often spoken in the same breath as the Holy Trinity, which includes Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, and Vacheron Constantin. Their watch the way that they manufacture their movements, as well as the finishing that they put into these pieces is often on par with those types of companies. The Lange 1 is one of the watches that they released. Lange Söhne took a break between, basically went out of business during during World War II. And so they relaunched the brand in 1994, and the Lange 1 was the piece that they rolled out during that relaunch. So the Lange 1 was launched in 1994, which is when the relaunch took place, and they had a whole press conference when they relaunched the brand. And the Lange 1 really has become a staple and an iconic piece from Lange Söhne. If you don't know, I am a huge fan of Lange Söhne. If you haven't seen my video, I'll put it in the description. The Lange 1 is one of the pieces that I would ultimately like to have in my ultimate watch collection. It consists of, I believe, 7 pieces, and the Lange 1 is one of the pieces that I'd like to have within that collection. I don't think I'm going to end up having this one because it's extremely rare, but I'll get into that later. And while you're in the description, I'll put a link in the description. But while you're in the description, the like button is really close, so if you wouldn't mind just smashing that for me, it really would help us out. Helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, which is always appreciated. So the Grand Lange 1 was released to celebrate the Lange 1's 25-year anniversary. There weren't that many changes that occurred to this piece. There were very small changes, but I think the rarity factor is what really makes this watch stand out. So what the few changes that they made was they increased the size of the watch from 38.5 millimeters to 41 millimeters. Now, I think one of the biggest things and why people really love the Lange 1 so much is because it fits people's wrists really well. And perhaps increasing the size might make it fit differently. Well, it obviously will make it fit differently for those people. But at the same time, it does kind of help out those who have, larger wrists and would like to wear something, would love this watch, but don't have, the wrist, the watch doesn't have that big of a wrist presence on their, larger wrists. Obviously, I have small wrists, so there's that. But so they increased the size to 41, which means it's going to help out those who have larger wrists and are interested in the Lange 1. The watch also has a silver dial with blue accents on the markers, as well as blue steeled hands, which obviously make the dial pop really well. The watch case is made out of white gold, and I think that kind of contrast between that white gold and the blue on the dial really does make it stand out and pop on the wrist. This piece is actually limited only to 25 pieces. There have been some other 25-year anniversary pieces that they have released. There was one at SIHH that was released in 250 pieces. This one is limited to 25 pieces. So the rarity factor with this watch is immense. In fact, if you actually flip the watch over, obviously you're going to have that display case back so you can see the beautiful 3/4 plate and the movement of the Lange 1. Also, you'll see the engraved balance cock. But what's really cool about it is on the balance cock, there's the number 25 written in blue on that balance cock, which again brings in that kind of rarity factor. The watch itself really didn't change that much, but there's those little details that kind of make the watch a little bit different. And I really like the fact that they wrote 25 on the balance cock. I think that's quite a unique thing, even though when you really think about it, the watch really hasn't changed all that much. You can obviously, when you flip it over, like I said, you'll see the movement, you can see the beautiful decoration and finishing. That's obviously perfect with Lange Söhne, which I think is a very German thing. And you know, this is just a stunning execution of the Lange 1. It is a Lange 1. It really has not changed all that much. However, I think it's definitely well done by Lange. The watch retails for quite an expensive price. It retails for 43,700 euros plus VAT tax or VAT. So you're looking at making a decent investment, but you know, this is a limited piece to 25 pieces, so you're not going to see this on your neighbor's wrist for sure if you end up buying it. So definitely something to consider. So as I said, I've always wanted a Lange 1 in my collection. It's part of my ultimate collection, and I'm hopefully going to get there someday. So I'm a huge fan of Lange Söhne, especially the watches that they've come out with. For the 25-year anniversary, they also had like a time zone watch they came out with, a Lange 1 time zone watch. So they're really, you know, celebrating the great past 25 years that they've had with some beautiful pieces that they're releasing. As I kind of have mentioned throughout the video, really not much has changed in the way of this watch. You know, it at its heart, it's a Lange 1. It's a little bit bigger. The colors that are used are a little bit different, and it's the only thing that really stands out is the fact that it's rare. However, I don't think that's really the point of it. The point of it is to appreciate the true heritage of this piece, have a Lange 1 for what it is, and celebrate the fact that it's been so successful over the past 25 years. I think if you are a Lange 1 collector, which I know a few of, this is a perfect piece to add to your collection, because if there are only 25 pieces, you're going to have a very, very unique Lange 1 collection. So definitely, if you're interested in it, you would definitely pick this up. I know that I would love to pick it up with 25 pieces. I don't know if I can get my hands on it as quickly as some other people can. So so that's just a little bit of a watch release news. I just want to make a quick comment here. This is unrelated to this video, but I wanted to mention it anyway. I would like to thank you guys. I've said this in a previous video, I think when I released on Monday, but I would like to thank you guys for continuing to support me. I know I took a little bit of a break, and I was releasing, you know, two videos a week, which was not my normal release cadence, but this week obviously I'm back to 3 videos a week, and I hope to continue that in the upcoming weeks. But I'd like to thank you guys for continuing to support the channel. And I'm going to advertise here very quickly. I'm doing this at the end because if you aren't interested, you can click away right now. But we do have 2 really, really cool vintage pieces in our watch store right now. They have very, very cool stories to them as well. We've released those blogs on our website, so definitely check those out. The 2 watches that we have, the one is an Omega Seamaster. It has a beautiful honeycomb dial, it's in really great condition. I think it's the perfect dress watch, and you know, if you're just getting into vintage watches, it's a perfect way to kind of enter into the vintage watch world with a vintage Omega Seamaster. And then the second is Lange's Presidency watch. The Lange's comes with its original box. It has the original little, it has a hang tag that gives you the reference as well as the price that it sold for, but it also has that little insert on the box that shows you how much it sold for. Both of these watches from the Lange's is from the 60s and the Omega is from the 50s, I believe. So definitely check those out on the website. The stories for them, about the history of them that we've tracked, is on the website, so you can, obviously we're being as transparent as possible about, you know, where we got the watches, where they've been previously, and all that stuff. So definitely check those out. I'll put a link to this in the description for our shop, so you can check those out. Advertisement done. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. And for those of you who decided to stick around to the end of the video, I will be giving you a special gift. This is only because you decided to watch the entire video. I will be giving you 10% off any watch you decide to purchase from our store. No strings attached, straight 10% across the board I'll give you off, just because you guys were so loyal and decided to watch my advertisement, which I know can be extremely frustrating. So if you just shoot me a message saying that you watch until the end of the video, I'll give you that 10% off of the watch you decide to buy. They really are beautiful pieces, so definitely check them out. If you have any questions about them, feel free to reach out to me, but just use that and say that you watched the entire Lange 1 video and you saw the 10% off, and I will be sure to give that to you on your purchase. Now I will definitely let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next video.